Hi, I am interior designer Susan Sage and host of Designing with Casual Elegance. Today we have two parts to the show, and in the first part we're going to be talking about redoing the main bedroom at home. So this is a home project, and in part two we're going to do a little setting up dining al fresco for Independence Day. So this all began, this whole bedroom redo, when one evening Terry and I were sitting in the living room talking, and for a long time we had talked about getting a new bed. Well, I asked him, I said, when do you think we can get a new bed? And he said, laughing, I've been waiting for 5 years for you to ask. So, of course, then I had to justify it, which I did, and ordered it within 24 hours. So the bed came, and it's still in pieces. There's 4 parts missing, but that's okay, because in the meantime, we have a lot of redecorating to do. And we're going to start talking about just the floor plan. I have a blank, just a piece of graph paper with the drawing, outside drawing, and the pieces, the doors and windows that are not going to move. This is not a remodel. So you can see down the side, there are a bathroom door, a closet door, a linen closet door, a window, and of course this is a door coming in, and French doors. So a lot of things to work around. The thing that you need to pay attention to when designing a floor plan is, as you come in, this is your traffic pattern. So you don't want to put anything here that's going to stand in the way of getting into the bathroom, or going into the closet, or getting to the linen closet. So I actually do have 2 different options of floor plans. And the first one is having the bed on this wall, and I'll explain why. We'll show you the other floor plan. You come in, and if the bed is on this wall, which would be nice because it's closer to the ceiling fan, but this is very congested. I like to open windows when it's nice, and if I have a nightstand here in front of the window, I can't get to it very easily. Or if it should start raining and I need to get there quickly to close it, it makes it very hard and kind of gets in the way of the little linen closet door. And then as you come around to the French door, you can see the way that it opens. With the bed here, if you wanted a breeze, you're not going to get it. But it's nice for the ceiling fan placement, and the ceiling fan is not centered. This has a tray ceiling, and it actually doesn't start until you get about 4 feet into the room. And then they centered it in the tray ceiling, not in the room. So, like I said, this is very congested, not that easy to move around. When you come to the other floor plan, and this is what we're going to do, which is basically how it's set up now. When you come in, you have a clear path to your doors and your windows, and then you have a nice chair and ottoman. And let me tell you, this is the greatest chair for taking a nap in the afternoon. It is so nice and soft, and just really nice, relaxing place to be. We have a nice little table and armoire. But here, if you've got the door open and you've got a beautiful breeze, you can benefit from that coming in. And then, of course, the ceiling fan, even though it's off center, will still move the air. And it doesn't really matter. You know, we always used to be concerned about having it go one way during the summer and a different way during the winter. In the end, it doesn't matter. It moves the air, and that's the important thing. So we have some pictures of the room as it is now. And we'll show this. We're going to go through this project over the next couple months to get it all complete, and then we will show you once again the before and then the after. So as you're coming in, you have the bed on this wall. Steve. There's a green wall behind it, and we've got a little nightstand. There we go. You can see there's another door there, and that little door is for another linen closet. Then we have our nightstand. It's actually a table, and this is a vintage table. Most of the pieces in this room are repurposed, resourced, or inherited. The bed will be new, and then on the other side of the bed, we have an antique dresser, and that was Terry's aunt's. So we were fortunate to get it. It was given to us. We cleaned it up. It was in a farmhouse in Iowa. It hadn't really been polished in a long time, so we sanded it down, we sealed it, and brought it back to life. And we've been using that for many years now. So that will remain. And then here again is an old piece. This is a cedar chest that was made by Terry's uncle when he was in high school for his mother, for her hope chest. And we are fortunate enough to have that. It's a beautiful piece. In the corner, we have an armoire, and you can see that's a French country, which was my mother's. And I love that piece. It's not an antique. It was from Ethan Allen in 1985. So it's just a beautiful piece, and the way I use it as a closet. I know everybody's trying to get rid of their armoires. They're done with them. Well, I have two, and I use both of them. This one in the bedroom actually houses all my shorts and lingerie. So, very functional. And if you go into the bathroom, I have another one that is a linen closet and storage. So, and we will be redoing the bathroom at another time, and we'll do that project when it comes up. Then this is just a little round table with a beautiful tablecloth on it, and then of course your chair and ottoman. I do have an 8x10 rug, so that hardwood isn't cold during the winter months when you get out of bed. So that is the floor plan that we're going to use for the new bed and as we redecorate. Now the cedar chest may not stay. I may move that to another room and put a bench there. I haven't decided yet. Things may change along the way as we go through this project. And let me tell you, in interior design, it changes every time. Whether you're moving cabinets or, the refrigerator's off a little bit. Could be many different things, and you go back and make changes. Sometimes you think the furniture's all gonna be perfect, and you get it in there, and it doesn't work. So this is not fail-safe. So anyway, but drafting does help a lot. So, and this is manual drafting. I do not do AutoCAD. I find that with AutoCAD, when you're at somebody's house and you have this printed piece, you can't really make changes and print it out again. But if you have manual and you also have your plain floor plan, you can draw right in. You can put a piece of tracing paper on top and make changes and then redo your space planning. So just one of those things that happens in the industry. And now we're going to talk about the new look for the bedroom. The main wall here is going to become wallpaper. And to look like, just plank paneling, we're going to do it sideways. I'm not doing it up and down. I just like the look of that horizontal plank. So what is missing from this design board are paint colors, because I'm still working on that, and it's going to take a little bit. this room faces northeast, so it's very bright in the morning, but it gets darker in the afternoon. And I think I want to go a little bit lighter in color than what I have now. Okay, these three pieces of fabric here, this is the main portion of our little French chair that's here. The sides, this is collaged with three different fabrics. So this little check is actually on the back of the chair and on the sides, and is also the welt cord for the chair. And then this wonderful little toile is actually from France. Where I was working in Kansas City, our bosses went to Europe and, of course, visited France, and he brought back a couple yards, and of course they call them meters, of this beautiful toile from Jouy, France. And Jouy is where toiles originated. And they were all, I don't know if y'all know the story about a toile fabric. What they would do is develop fabrics that pictured the happenings of everyday life, you know, just the pastoral life that was going on. So you will see many different scenes depending on who is actually designing the toile. And of course, they come in many different colors. To me, toile fabric is one that never goes out of style. So some other things here. This is the hardwood floor. And these are just the finishes that are on the furniture pieces that are in there. So you can see it's not all matchy-matchy. I really like mixing, and I'm not sure if I'm going to paint a piece or not. Very possibly this piece that I actually picked up at the Rose Antique store down in Rogers, and I may decide to paint that. Depends on what this looks like, because this bed is very light colored. I did not have a picture of it. So I might want to do a light colored table, although there is a white table square on this little table. So we still have one more fabric, and this is not going to change. This chair is not going to change. The walls will change as far as paint color, the wallpaper, and that's probably it. The trim will all stay white. The current drapery is this beautiful ginger jar. And gives you a variety of colors to choose from. So I'm thinking probably in the blue family. I just have to find the exact right blue color for this room. And this room is large. It is 14 by 18, so there is a lot of space there to do, well, many things with furniture or drapes. The one thing I will tell you about drapes and window treatments, because you have a French door here, I actually have woven wood blinds on there, but then just stationary panels in this beautiful fabric on each side. But as you come around to this window here, which is only 4 inches in from the wall, I have just a little valance out of the same fabric. So that is how they are coordinated together. And one way that you can deal with a window-door combination. This also happened to me one time when I was doing a show house, and I had a big window, had drapes designed for it, and when I went back to start working on the room, there were these 2 little windows on each side. They were covered up on the inside of the house, but they were exposed on the back. So they took that drywall off, and I had to come up with something to make it all work together. And it did. It actually turned out pretty cool. So anyway, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to decorate for Independence Day and set the table for a little alfresco dining.
Experience the Macadoodle's difference. Shop leisurely in our friendly and spacious store 7 days a week. Browse our wine cellar. We offer the top labels and hot new wines. Wide aisles, hardwood floors, and easy-to-find, well-lit displays make shopping enjoyable. Customers are our #1 priority. If you can't find something, our courteous staff will assist you, and we'll even help you to your car with your purchase. World-class customer service, largest and best selection in the area, low prices. Experience the Macadoodles difference today.
Welcome back. Well, we've talked about redoing the master bedroom, but now I'm going totally off subject, and we're going to put together a set for Independence Day. July 4th is coming up. We all like to celebrate, and we have started. We already made one change. We've taken everything down and have up our American flag. So what I'm going to do is start decorating around it. And we want this to look like an outdoor space, like dining al fresco. So there's going to be a lot of greenery. And I get my workout. These things are very heavy. You got to have a little statuary. I'm trying not to trip over all this stuff I have back here. And you got to have a little candlelight. Okay, starting to come together. And of course, you've got to have a wreath. And I have this really fun vintage fabric wreath that I found some time ago. I just think it's fun. Try and mask our cabinet here. And we've got some empty shelves. So, like I said, lots of greenery. Okay, we've got this little guy. And alrighty, think something. Forgot what I was gonna do here, so let's get our topiary in there. And I just call this guy Little Dude. And again, a little more 4th of July decoration. Get some more greenery. We're going to finish off our table with a little more patriotic. Well, it's actually an Afghan, but we're using it as a table topper. Okay. I don't have cushions to match, but I do have patriotic pillows. Okay, and then for our table setting, we have all of our dishes, and we're doing red, white, and blue, surprise, surprise. And we'll start with the dinner plate, plain white. Then I'm going to take my napkin. I'm going to fold both sides in, fold it in half, and then wrap the plate in it. And then I have red and white transferware that we're going to do to make it that red, white, and blue. For this project today, I actually dug into my closets. I did not want to have to purchase a whole lot of new items, and I was fortunate enough to have this. Of course, my red and white transferware I've had for a long time. Usually use it at Christmas, but it's also great for any other patriotic holiday. We've got our water glasses. Bread and butter plates. And I've said before, B for bread, no, D for drink, B for bread. Drink goes on the right, bread goes on the left. Same thing with your silverware. Spoon and knife have 5 letters. They go on the right side, as right has 5 letters, left gets the fork. Okay. And you'll notice not all of these red and white pieces match. They are things that I have picked up at antique stores along the way, and I just mix them all together. Okay. Now, have this wonderful soup tureen. And a lot of you may think, soup, it's too hot for that. Well, not if you do a beautiful gazpacho. And what I would recommend, if you are going to do a cold soup in a tureen, fill it up with cold water, ice water, and get it cooled down before you add the soup. Same thing if you're going to do chili or a hot soup, you want to put really hot water, maybe not quite boiling, into the tureen to heat it up and keep your food warm. So very simple. And then you could add your flowers. Now, the other thing you could do with the soup tureen is use it as a centerpiece. So take these things out, cut down your hydrangeas, and put them right inside. And you could create a beautiful centerpiece. The other thing you could do, I think I've got some. Oh, knife. Cut. And in they go. Hydrangeas are top heavy, obviously. So Accidents happen. Got a little cleanup to do. And if you take care of your hydrangeas or whatever flower, if you ever buy fresh flowers or cut from the garden, the best way to make them last is to cut them every couple days. Just take a couple inches off the bottom and change the water to keep the bacteria out. I've had hydrangeas last for up to 3 weeks. And you want to make sure you get your flowers from a really good source and that they are fresh. These actually came from a local flower shop right here in Bella Vista, just peddling. And I was so happy they had these because I did not want to have to drive down to Rogers to get beautiful hydrangeas. Could have used a few more, but that's all they had. So that would be just another idea. And still again, if you wanted to have something really low and simple, gravy boat. You could cut the hydrangea way down and just stick them into a gravy boat for another type of centerpiece. Or you could put them in individual glasses by each plate for people to take as a gift after dinner if you have a few people coming over and you're entertaining. So, and it would be really pretty to mix blue and white hydrangeas together for the holiday. So, I'll have a little bit to clean up. And also, you could do different napkins. If you actually wanted to use napkin rings, there are many different folds. We'll do just one very simple. Just fluff it out a little bit. And again, our little napkin rings are staying with our theme of red, white, and blue. And of course, you could do red, white, and blue dessert or, many, many different things. It's a time of year for grilling and chilling and get that grill going, get the burgers on, some hot dogs, and maybe even some brats. Get that corn on the cob and all the other wonderful foods that come in abundance this time of year, which is so great. Love the whole farm to table, getting fresh foods at the market, and being able to start canning and putting those fresh foods to good use so that I have them for the rest of the year. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this today, something a little different as far as some actual design work with the floor plans and the planning of the main bedroom at home. And like I said, we will follow that through the next couple months. So we'll see how long it takes to pull it off. And we'll see you next month with our next step. Maybe we'll be sanding the wall to prep it for wallpaper. We'll see. So anyway, thank you. We are a nonprofit. We are all volunteer. And we hope that you would donate or come and join us. We are always looking for more volunteers. So thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.